Try to do nothing. Not rest, not scroll, not relax. Actually, nothing. You'll notice something almost immediately. The mind doesn't stop. It reaches, it plans, remembers, worries. Like stillness is something it's afraid of. You've probably felt that strange discomfort when you're doing nothing. The itch to fill the space. The guilt that comes with just being. There is a reason for that. And it's not what you think. We live in time that fears emptiness. Every gap gets filled. Podcast while walking, music while working, scrolling while waiting. Something always playing in the background. Silence has become almost unbearable. Like something's wrong if nothing happening. But here's what's strange. Your mind wasn't designed for constant input. It was built for gaps, spaces where something else could happen. Something that can only happen when you stop. When you finally stop, truly stop, a different part of your mind wakes up. Scientists call it the default mode network. But the name doesn't capture what it really does. This is the part of you that connects what has been disconnected, that processed what you haven't had time to process, that surfaces what you've been too busy to feel. It's where your best ideas come from, where solutions arrive without being forced, where the mind finally catches up with what you lived through. All those moments when something clicks out of nowhere, in the shower, on a walk, just before you go to sleep, that's the part of you working in the silence you finally gave it. But here's what nobody tells you. It's not just processing thoughts, it's processing everything. The grief you postponed, the transition you're in the middle of, the version of yourself that's trying to emerge. All of it needs space, and we almost never give it any. You might have noticed something in yourself lately. A tiredness that sleep doesn't fix. A fullness that doesn't feel like satisfaction. A sense of being overwhelmed without being able to say why. This is what happens when the gaps disappear. The mind keeps accumulating half-processed experiences, unfinished emotions, the debris of life that never pauses. We call it burnout, anxiety, restlessness, but maybe it's simpler than that. Maybe you just full and nothing has been allowed to live. Not because you're weak, but because there was never any space. So, what actually happens when you do nothing? Not immediately. The mind resists at first. It throws thoughts at you, makes you uncomfortable, tries to convince you there's something you should be doing. And this is normal. It's not a sign that you're doing it wrong. It's just withdrawal. The mind reaching for stimulation it used to. But if you stay there, if you let the discomfort be there without trying to fix it, something begins to shift. The mind starts to settle, not because you force it, but because you finally gave it permission. And exactly in that settling, something starts to move. All things completing themselves. new things beginning to form, new connection that couldn't happen while you were busy. You don't have to do anything. The work happens without you. This is the part that feels almost mystical. The emptiness you've been avoiding, it's not empty. It's where the real work happens. The part of you that knows how to heal, how to process, how to become. It doesn't need your help. It needs your absence. Maybe that's why every wisdom tradition made space for stillness. Not as punishment, not as discipline, as recognition that something already knows the way if you stop interrupting it. You don't need a meditation practice for this. You don't need to optimize it or track it. You don't need another app. You just need gaps, small pockets of nothing, a few minutes where you're not consuming, not producing. You're just existing. It's simpler than it sounds and harder than it should be. But something in you is already asking for this. The restlessness, the fatigue, the strange hunger for something you can't name. That's not a sign something is wrong with you. That's the signal. Something is trying to process. Something is trying to complete itself. Something has been waiting for a gap that never comes. You don't have to figure this out. You don't have to fix yourself first. You don't have to earn the right to rest. Maybe you just stop. Not forever, just for a moment. And let whatever needs to move, move. The emptiness isn't your enemy. It might be the only place where you can finally hear yourself. And whatever is waiting for you in that silence, it's been waiting a long time. It's patient. It'll still be there whenever you're ready.